Imagine a house that sends shivers down your spine just by looking at it. This is no ordinary home, but a place where the air hangs heavy with the weight of untold stories and unspeakable events. It stands tall, an ominous silhouette against the backdrop of an otherwise peaceful town. It's not just the creaking floors, the cobweb-laden corners, or the eerie silence that makes your hair stand on end. It's the chilling history that permeates every brick, every wooden beam, every pane of glass. This house was once the abode of a woman named Sarah. Sarah, whose name is whispered with fear and trepidation. Sarah, who in death has become more infamous than she ever was in life. Rumors swirl around her like a persistent fog, tales of her heinous acts, of lives taken too soon. They say she kept a diary, a chilling account of her deeds, a diary that now lies somewhere within this haunted dwelling, its pages filled with horrors too terrifying to imagine. Many have dared to enter, but none have returned the same. Tonight, a group of young adventurers will challenge their fears. As the sun sets on Halloween, our group of young adventurers gather, ready to explore the haunted house. There's Jake, the skeptic, always ready to debunk any hint of the supernatural. Emily, the thrill seeker, lives for the adrenaline rush that comes with fear. Then there's Leo, the local historian, fascinated by the house's dark past. And finally, Sophie, the empath, who can't help but feel drawn to the house's sorrowful aura. Their motivations are as diverse as their personalities. Jake wants to prove that there's a logical explanation for everything. Emily craves the excitement that a haunted house promises on Halloween. Leo is drawn by the house's history and the mysteries it holds. Sophie, on the other hand, feels a strange pull towards the house, a need to understand its pain. Their plan? To spend Halloween night in the haunted house, to face their fears, challenge their beliefs, and maybe, just maybe, uncover the truth behind the tale of murderous Sarah. Armed with flashlights, cameras, and a shared sense of camaraderie, they approached the creaking front door. Brave and naive, they stepped into the house, unaware of the horrors that awaited them. In the dusty attic, they find an old diary. It belonged to Sarah, the rumored murderer. The diary is a relic of the past, its pages yellowed with age and its leather cover worn and faded. It's a tangible piece of the house's dark history, a silent witness to the terrible events that unfolded within these walls. As they open the diary, they're greeted by Sarah's elegant handwriting, the ink faded but still legible. The entries begin harmlessly enough, detailing mundane day-to-day life. But as they delve deeper into the diary, a chilling narrative begins to unfold. Sarah's entries become increasingly erratic, her words painting a disturbing picture of a mind descending into madness. She writes about hearing voices, about shadows that move on their own, about her growing obsession with death. She speaks of a dark force that has taken residence within her, compelling her to commit unspeakable acts. The group, huddled together in the dimly lit attic, read Sarah's entries aloud. They're drawn in by the macabre tale, a morbid fascination keeping them glued to the pages. Sarah's words fill the room, her descriptions so vivid, it's as if they're living the events themselves. They can almost hear the voices she describes, feel the chill of the shadows, sense the dark force that consumed her. As they reach the final entry, a sense of dread hangs in the air. Sarah's last words are a chilling prediction of the horrors that are to come. On Halloween night, when the veil between worlds is thinnest, my nightmares will come to life. They will claim any who dare enter this house. As the last word echoes in the room, they laugh it off, unaware that Sarah's nightmares were about to become their reality. Stops. A cold shiver runs through them as they realize something is horribly wrong. The jovial atmosphere of Halloween night curdles into an icy dread. It's as if the very air in the house grows dense, the shadows stretching ominously, harboring unseen horrors. As they huddle together in the dimly lit room, the first event in Sarah's diary comes to life. A haunting melody fills the air, a ghostly lullaby that Sarah used to sing, echoing from the walls of the house. It's a sound that should be comforting, but under the circumstances, it's anything but. The group's initial disbelief is shattered as they realize the haunting notes are not a trick of their imagination. But the lullaby is just the beginning. The house, it seems, is waking up. The floorboards groan under an unseen weight, the windows rattle as if touched by invisible hands, and the air grows colder, the temperature dropping dramatically. The once charming antiquity of the house now feels oppressive, the history within its walls becoming a palpable force. Then the whispers start. Soft murmurs that seem to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. They grow in intensity, becoming more frantic, more desperate. The words are indecipherable, but the terror they convey is unmistakable. The group's initial disbelief has now morphed into a full-blown panic. They fumble for their phones, for any source of light. But the darkness in the house is all-consuming. They try the doors, the windows, but all routes of escape are mysteriously sealed. The house, it seems, does not want them to leave. And then, the climax. The last event from Sarah's diary manifests itself. A blood-curdling scream rings through the house, a scream of such pure terror that it freezes them in their tracks. It's Sarah's scream, the final cry that marked the end of her tragic tale. It's a sound that will haunt their dreams for years to come, a chilling reminder of the night when their Halloween celebration turned into a living nightmare. As the last event from the diary comes to life, the group is left in utter terror, their screams echoing through the house. As dawn breaks, the house falls silent. The horrifying events have ceased, but the damage is done. The group, once full of youthful bravado, have had their reality shaken, their courage shattered like the windows of the haunted house. The laughter and trick or treats from Halloween night have been replaced with an eerie silence that echoes in their minds, a chilling reminder of the terror they've just endured. Each of them is physically unharmed, but mentally, it's a different story. The once vibrant eyes now mirror the cold emptiness of the haunted house, their faces pale as the pages of Sarah's diary. Their hearts, once racing with excitement, now thump with a dread that lingers, a dread born out of Sarah's twisted tales that came to life before their very eyes. The events of the night have left an indelible mark on their souls. They came face to face with their worst fears, experienced the unthinkable, and it has changed them. The supernatural, once a topic of fascination and thrill, has now become a source of nightmares. They have seen the other side, and it's not a place they ever wish to visit again. They have survived the night, but it's not a victory they can celebrate. The haunted house, with its dark secrets and chilling tales, has claimed a part of their innocence, their carefree spirit. They have left the house, but the house hasn't left them. The town wakes up to another day, oblivious to the terror that unfolded in the haunted house. The group, once eager for a Halloween adventure, are now just grateful for the dawn. They've seen the horrors the night can hold, and they'll carry this experience with them, a chilling reminder of the Halloween night they'd rather forget. They survived the night, but they would never forget the horrors they witnessed. The haunted house stands, waiting for its next victims. What happened that night in the haunted house was a chilling reminder of the power of legends and the unknown. The young folks who dared to step into that eerie dwelling were confronted with the stark reality of the supernatural. Their brush with the otherworldly wasn't just a spine-tingling adventure. It was a wake-up call to the power of belief, the strength of stories handed down through generations, and the profound mystery that surrounds us all. The tale of the murderous Sarah and her diary of horrors is a testament to the dangers of underestimating the supernatural. Her diary, a seemingly harmless artifact, held within its pages a world of terror that unfolded before the very eyes of those daring enough to read it. It was a grim reminder that some doors, once opened, cannot be easily closed. The power of belief, when fueled by fear and the unknown, can bring forth realities that defy logic and reason. The echoes of that frightful Halloween night still linger in that small town, a chilling testament to a horror story that came to life. As the sun sets and the shadows lengthen, one can almost hear the whispers of the past, of a Halloween night that turned into a living nightmare. The diary of Sarah, the murderous owner, remains in the house, its pages filled with nightmares waiting to come to life again.